had some good shows that were, I mean, all the shows are good, but some shows that were quite stunning, so to speak, with the glitz and the glamour and all that stuff. Yeah.
Which was the most glitzy and the most glamorous?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. You know, playing for the Smithsonian Festival in Washington, D.C. was very prestigious. And, you know, I wasn't there because of who I am. I was there because of who I was with, which was Johnny Shines. But it just, for folk music, which blues is a part of, it doesn't get any better than that. You just can't. You can't do any better than the Smithsonian Institute, which, you know, captures bits and pieces of American life, and then they record it and store it in their big museum, their institute, and they have all kinds of prestigious folklorists that search the country for things that are truly American. And so that would be, to me, would be the most prestigious connection, I guess. But, you know, just living on the road with Johnny Shines, it doesn't really get much better than that. He was the legendary blues man that traveled and ran the roads with Robert Johnson, who everybody seems to be focused on nowadays, and maybe rightly so, but Johnny was right there with him, and to be able to run the roads with him for 3 years was just, I don't know if it was a dream come true, but it was very, you couldn't get any closer to the blues than that. You just couldn't. There's no way. There were other artists that were still alive at the time, but Johnny was just the one at the top in my humble opinion. So that was just incredible. Being able to run with him, listen to his stories, get a bit of perspective about the blues, and then just get to, you know, to be a friend. It's quite nice.
You told me about how you met him. You told me about how you went to seek him out.
Yeah, well, I had seen him perform when I was about 19 years old, and of course he was, I guess he was about 55 at the time, and he was just incredible. His playing and his singing and his stories. And then I started moving around a bit, and I kind of lost track of him. He wasn't coming to town in the late 70s, and I ended up moving down south, and then I was playing in a little town in Alabama one night, and some people came out of the audience and told me that he lived in that little town, and so I went and I looked him up, and sure enough, there he was. It's just incredible that he was there, and I was there too. And Robert Johnson was starting to surface again at the time because of the movie Crossroads. And I had been kicking around Alabama for several years, so I was getting a bit of a reputation for that style of music, and here they had they asked me to come at the University of Alabama and perform before they showed the movie Crossroads to the students. And which was very flattering for me to give a little talk about Robert Johnson and have the movie premiere, so to speak. And then when I found out that Johnny Shines lived just 50 miles away, I thought to myself, why didn't they get a hold of Johnny Shines? He would have been perfect. You couldn't have gotten any better than to get somebody like Johnny Shines. So, and then when I found him, you know, he wasn't working hardly at all. He was doing a few things here and there. So I told him that I was working all over